Hello, my name is Meredith and I'm proud to be the elected Mayor of Stoke-on-Trent, not just as a politician, but as somebody that's been born and bred in this city. If you don't recognise this place, this is Festival Park. And believe it or not, this was once one of the most contaminated places in the whole of Europe. But then only 50 years ago, Stoke-on-Trent had a reputation as a filthy, smoke-filled place. The city's industrial greatness came at a cost. Questions of what should be done about our environment, how to make things better for us all, are nothing new. It's hard to believe how far this city has come in just over half a century.
Just dark and smoky. Felt as though it was coming down on top of you, no, not like it is now. Nice, clean atmosphere.
Wasn't very healthy, was it?
No.
I suppose the quality of the air is a lot better than when we were young, yes, because we'd got Shelton Bar, which then, of course, emitted lots of different fumes and smoke into the atmosphere, so in that way it has improved, yes.
We've got all the mines as well, haven't we?
Yes, a lot of mining in the area as well.
Yeah. So it has improved,
It has improved, that has, yes.
Yes.
But much remains to be done. We all face many environmental challenges, from climate change to traffic pollution, noise, urban sprawl, threats to our wildlife. It's a disturbing list which seems endless. How do we make our priorities? That's where you come in. For the first time, Stoke-on-Trent City Council is putting the environment at the top of its agenda. That's why we're committing to the Nottingham Declaration, a national agreement on climate change. The declaration ensures we will take account of the environment in relation to every decision we make, and more importantly perhaps, to team up with local people, with groups, with government, with businesses, to do all we can to protect the climate for the future. The council can only act if the people of the city tell us what's important to them, what they want to change. So we need you to tell us your priorities, so that your priorities become ours.
More parks for children to play in. Nicer areas.
Less cars, less traffic.
I think a lot of the traffic that comes into the city should be taken away. I don't think we should have as much traffic as we've got. It's too much.
All the derelict buildings.
Yeah. Just general tidy up sort of thing.
Make it a little bit more greener, more environmentally friendly. Less of these horrible buildings that are around.
Make sure there's no litter everywhere. People should learn to throw litter in the bins and so on.
You may not realise it, but you're doing your bit already. By picking up your recyclable rubbish at the curbside, we are already reducing the amount of our waste which goes into landfill. Much of the processing needed to turn that waste into useful materials is done here in the city, rather than being driven to other parts of the country in fleets of lorries. Waste which can't be recycled is often burnt to generate electricity and again reduce the amount of rubbish going into landfill.
We divert the waste from landfill and we put it to good use by generating electricity for the national grid. The plant actually burns around about 200,000 tonnes a year from all of the local authorities and some of the private customers that the operators, MES Environmental, actually have. But for Stoke-on-Trent, around about 70,000 tonnes a year from residents and businesses within the city boundaries comes into this plant. You're talking around about enough electricity to power around about 24,500 homes, which is used by the national grid nationally. Some of that will obviously be used locally within homes in the city. All the household waste that residents put into their wheelie bins and the businesses using the trade waste collection services that we provide all comes into the plant and we generate electricity with it.
Of course, not everybody is as helpful as they could be. It's hard to keep the city clean and tidy when inconsiderate people fly tip their junk around our homes, schools and businesses. Apart from clearing up behind selfish people, there are other ways the council has found to combat the problem.
In the longer term, we usually seek to have some sort of, a hard remedy. For instance, the gating we just looked at over there, fencing here to secure this area, and it was a tip. And the people here describe it as a tip. It was a passage for any vagrant who wanted to pass through. People dumped regularly on it rubbish. There was absolutely no amenity value in terms of what the people here, the local residents, could get from it. Typically around here, there are many of these alleyways which they're left to the ne'er-do-wells and the no-goods and the people who are fly tipping. The residents generally get very little value from them.
But the environment isn't just about clearing away rubbish or cutting back on greenhouse gases. It's also about making the most of where we live. 10 years ago, Stoke-on-Trent had just 100 metres of dedicated cycleways. Today, there are 125 kilometres, or almost 80 miles of paths and tracks to take a bike out on.
Over the last 5 years, we've seen a 70% increase in cycling, and one of our notable successes has been the production of the Stoke-on-Trent and Newcastle-under-Lyme cycling map, of which over the last 5 years we've produced and distributed around 20,000 copies. Around 9,500 copies of our latest version have distributed to local areas, of course, regionally, nationally to places such as Manchester, London, Birmingham, Leeds, and even internationally to places such as Southern Ireland, Holland and the United States even. So we're very proud that we've got tourists coming into Stoke-on-Trent and want to cycle on our tremendous cycling infrastructure. So recently we've been awarded Cycle Town status. We're extremely proud about that. What that means for this city is it brings in an extra £5 million worth of capital to spend on cycling improvements.
We've come a long way from here, but the challenge in many ways is greater than ever before. A whole planet and a whole way of life are under threat, and we all have to make changes. Working for you, the City Council will do all it can to forge constructive partnerships committed to improving our environment. We've shown you a few ways in which we are already doing just that. Now it's your turn. It's time for the people of Stoke-on-Trent to take a lead, to tell us what green issues matter to you and what we should be doing. I've had my say in my green paper on climate change. Now tell me what you think. This area was once a terrible poisoned wasteland. It shows what can be done when we all work together.